So my second tour of duty here at Edgware Road. I was here in the 90s and I worked here as the old inspector grade, which is quite interesting. I undertook a lot of track walks down here, and down in the tunnel, because it's built to broad gauge, the Victorian one, which Brunel used on the Western Railway to start off with. When they first opened here, they used his coaches and rolling stock and engines. So they're built to a wider specification than most other tunnels. And down at the junction, there were two signal cabins. When they expanded the line to go around the Circle line from Paddington, they had to put a signal cabin in. And mine is literally in the V of the junction there. And then they moved that one, and they moved it bit further towards the station here on the left hand side. In one of the bolt holes they've extended it back, and you can't see a lot in there now, but you can see remnants of where the stoves were, because they had coal-fired stoves, so you can imagine how dirty it's going to be down in a tunnel. But yes, it's experience on the underground has been very positive for me, especially working on stations. I was a driver and a guard before I came here, so I thoroughly enjoy it, so I recommend it. There's a lot to be said for it.
How often do you use the Metropolitan line?
The Metropolitan line, I was a driver there for 10 years on the Metropolitan line out of the Eastern Depot. I was a guard there for 2 or 3 years before that, and I was qualified to drive on the A stocks and the C stocks for the trains then. Also, as a guard, I was trained for doing stock moves on various other stocks as well. So I've got a broad knowledge of older train stocks and what have you, and driving. I did do a spell on the Northern Line, but I have, in my years now, I've seen quite a lot and done quite a lot, so I can't complain. I'm still here. Must be doing something right. I enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay. How reliable is the Metropolitan line?
Oh, it's more reliable now than it used to be. The stock, there's still have some teething problems with the stock. It's been in a few years, but they're getting there now. So I can't see of any real problems.
How do you compare it with other line? The Metropolitan line with other line?
When it works good. When it works, it's good. It's only when you get things like, because here we're affected by the Metropolitan line. If anything goes wrong, that impacts the district line, impacts on us, because we go around the Circle line, that's shared, but that's part of the district line. So anything around there that impacts on their side impacts here as well. So we always get the knock-on effects, and it is what it is, because it's a big joined-up railway. If one thing goes wrong somewhere, it affects everybody, unfortunately, and that's the nature of it. I commute in from Peterborough, so anything that goes wrong up there affects not only my trains on the LNER, but the local services, Great Northern and Thameslink, from Peterborough as well. So I see it from all sides, as a passenger travelling, and B, as actually working here. So it is interesting to find out what goes wrong and how it's fixed and all the rest of it at the end of it, when you see the reports. But yes, it's a very varied job, mine. Now that I'm classed as a manager, I manage the staff instead of being working with them, so to speak. I'm the one that now does their performance and development, and any reviews, return to work from sickness, and all other bits and pieces which we didn't used to do before, which is always another manager's job, because we weren't managers then. But yes, the job's evolving. Better, worse, the jury's out at one at the moment. Better, I think, but wait and see. Yes, it is a very rewarding job here. It can be a very rewarding job. When you get to help people if they lost things, or if they've hurt themselves, what have you, you see them safe away to hospital and what have you. But yes, it is. I'd recommend this job to anybody.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you very much.
That's all right.
Thank you.